Storytime with Tim, sharing my stories of long ago, back on the old porch, bloodhounds and all my relatives telling stories about fishing and all kinds of stuff. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, leave comments, hit the notification bell. If you like, give me a like, hit the old hand thing, and let your friends and family and your doggies too know about Storytime with Tim on my YouTube. Below the video, you'll see a thing that says more. Click on that, opens up the description of the video. It has my merch store that's brand new, Amazon store that I have, my disclaimer, and some other things in there. So click on the link for my merch store, help support the channel, and let your friends know about it too. So let's get going on Storytime with Tim. Welcome to Storytime with Tim. I had a thought. When I was a kid back in Missouri, we'd sit on the front porch with a pop, and the older relatives would sit there and start telling stories. I just loved those stories. Fishing with Tim video up at Lake Rosinger, I did a story time. It turned out pretty good on the video, so I thought, well, I think I'll start a channel just telling stories. So I'm going to use the first story I did up at the lake, Lake Rosinger. Start with that first. But I have so many stories to share, so I think I'll do it. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. I'm going to improve on it, of course. This is my first video for storytelling. If you enjoy it, please subscribe and leave comments. Thanks. So I figured it's a good time to tell a story. Yeah, old lake story. Well, when I was a kid, my parents had a lake cabin on Lake Bosworth. This is Lake Rosinger here, but which are fairly close. They're only within about 5 miles of each other. So anyway, one day, I was always helping my dad. My brother and sister were both married and gone by the time I came around. So it was just mom and dad and I. So we were up the lake cabin, and Dad said, "Hey, we're gonna go gig some frogs." Gig frogs, okay. So we went up to the hardware store up in Granite Falls, and this is back in the early '60s, mid '60s. And we went up there and to the old hardware store in town, and Dad asked the store guy, the clerk, if they had frog gigs, and he said, "Yeah, we do. Yeah, we got them." And so Dad bought a frog gig, and he said, "Yeah, we're going to get a bamboo pole, and we're going to put this frog gig on the bamboo pole." Where are you going to get bamboo, So he found some pole. I don't know. It wasn't bamboo. Anyway, so we got in the boat, and we had to wait until it was like midnight. I mean, went to sleep and then woke up, and Dad said, "Come on, let's go," and we hopped in the boat, and so I rowed, and he was in the bow of the boat, and he had a flashlight. And we could hear the frogs, the bullfrogs, just honking all over the lake, So he said, "Well, let's go over here and check it out." So I headed towards the shore, and he said, "Oh, there's one." I could see the light shining in its eyes, just like a deer, And so we got over there, and he just damn near fell out of the boat trying to gig this frog. It was the funniest doggone thing. I wish it was on film. Back then, we never even thought of that. But so anyway, he got the frog, got it in the boat, and put it in a what we called a potato sack, well, gunny sack or whatever, and put him in there. And we went around, got a few more frogs, and then got home and cleaned the frogs and all this other stuff, and it was interesting. And then the next day we had trout, and then we had we also had bullfrog legs, you know. And I never ate one. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to eat this, you know. And Dad goes, oh, come on, it tastes like chicken. You know, everything tastes like chicken, right? And so I tried it, and actually it was really, really good. It was like chicken, but it's a little bit sweeter. And so I went, wow, I was hooked then. I was out there trying to get bullfrogs all the time. So during the day, I'd watch those bullfrogs jump off the bank and go out a ways, and they'd leave a tray of bubbles stirring up because they were always down by the bottom when they were swimming away. So they'd stir up some bubbles, and I saw the bubbles stop, and I went, oh, okay. I bet that's where that bullfrog is. So I hopped in the boat, and by the dock, it was a nice sunny day. You could see the bottom really good. And there was this mound of dirt, mud, whatever. And I went, that's where that frog is. And so I gigged the frog, and I brought it up to the house. And Mom goes, where'd you get that? I said, I gigged a frog. She says, in daylight? And I said, yeah, I figured out how to do it. And she laughed, you know. And so I was sitting there getting all kinds of frogs. It was great.